listening to I Am Refocused Radio with your host, Shamaya Reed. This show is designed to inspire you to live your purpose and regain your focus. And now, here's your host, Shamaya Reed.
Hey, welcome to I Am Refocused Radio. We are here once again, and today we have another show lined up for y'all. Today we have our special guest. She's a returning guest. She's been on before, but she is Tara Lynn Townes. She's the CEO of the Bully Buddy LLC. And so last time we had you talking about the Bullying Buddy app. This time we're going to have you on and kind of give us some updates. But first and foremost, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great. How are you?
All is well. All is well. So with the app, tell us, man, what's new? I'm sure you have a lot of exciting things that has happened since the last time we talked.
Yes, thank you so much for having me back. Yes, the app is really beginning to take off. In fact, I was just brought on as a anti-bullying expert and consultant for the school district in my hometown, which is Bayonne, New Jersey, and we are in talks with the state of New Jersey for the app and curriculum to be into the schools here. Recently, we've had 3 children, one young lady who took her life. She was 14, and then we had another young man, 14 stabbed, and then another young man, 14 stabbed. And this is all within a 2-week span in the state of New Jersey. So the state of New Jersey is really getting hit hard. It is nationwide, as we all know. Once again, what I do and what the mission is to save lives. The app is to save lives. It's to redirect bullying. It's to inform. It's to allow parents to have access to their children when they're not around, as the app records in real time. And the parent is notified immediately when something is going on, and so is the school, and so is the admin. And so with that said, that is going to be huge. We want to, start the app here, obviously in New Jersey, and then we would like New Jersey to be the model so that all of the other states hop on. And I'm so excited about that. And another thing we have going on is my book, finally. It's called Are You Raising a Bully? It will be released on the 15th of March. I'm so excited. It got very good reviews by a few seasoned teachers, but a New York best-selling author who also is an anti-bullying crusader. He said that his quote is that this is the holy grail in the Bible to bullying and redirecting behavior. It's amazing. He also is an educator for 30 years. So that was a pretty big compliment. Spent a lot of time on the book, and this book will definitely be available on all platforms. But every teacher, every parent, even policy and procedures maker, everyone needs to read this book, because I broke down, bullying, the psychology behind it, the several types, the characters involved. So that's some of the stuff that we have going on. And then we have a really big fashion show that's going on, and that's June 2nd and 3rd in Washington. We will have a lot of political figures there. We expected to have about 400 guests. And we're just excited about all of the things that are taking place.
And for those who are listening to you for the very first time, kind of give us a little basic overview of the app, how they can access it, and how it works. Okay.
And so just for those of you who are listening for the first time, my name is Tara Lynn Townes, and I'm the CEO of the Bullying Buddy. I also am a developmental therapist and a behavioral specialist. So I work with behavior. That's my thing, so to speak. But what the app does is it records, it reports. So as soon as your child is being violated, your child can say EBB. They can say it. It's voice activated, just in case their hands, they're not free. Or they can press the button, and there's a big red button. It says EBB button, which is the emergency bullying button. They can press this button. They can navigate inside of the app. When you When your child is violated, instantly, simultaneously, you get an alert. You get a text message, an alert, and it will remind you so that you look at it. And what you will see is what's happening to your child right in the moment. And you can right away chat your child, or you can contact the school, but the school also gets an alert right away. The bus driver also gets an alert right away. So we no longer, can say as institutions that we didn't see it. Speaking of schools, and not all of them, bus drivers who say, I can't stop the bus, I just see kids in the back and I don't know what's going on and I shouldn't be penalized for that. You won't have to even worry about it any longer because it will come directly to you, meaning the bus driver. So this app is amazing. It also addresses cyberbullying, which is, gone from before the pandemic, somewhere around 67%. And now it was, 87% last year. But I mean, I think it's even higher than that, since we have about 98 per the CDC% of youth are on tablets, phones, social media platforms. So you also, if you're being bullied online, you can go into the app and there's Snap in there, Instagram, Facebook, all of the major platforms, and the child can click on the platform, or the parent can help their child. And once they click on that, they can see, the proper ways to report. Sometimes, and this is just a true story, sometimes the information is put on the social media, and when it's reported, it takes time for Facebook and other platforms to get back to the person who's being, socially bullied, or who's being cyber bullied. And so this causes a problem because the child has to walk around now mortified for, 3 to 5 days or whatever the process is. Sometimes they're quick, sometimes they're not, and I'm not against them. I'm actually for them. So if you're listening, guys, let's connect. Because we want this stuff taken down in zero time. And it takes a long time because they have so many people that are being violated, right? So they can't just, have a team, which I really think they should have, people who just really get these complaints and then they address them quickly. So the app also collects data. There's a section in there, unfortunately, called the bereavement section. And in that section, loved ones, families, friends, with the permission of the parents, can upload stories of children who have taken their lives between the ages of 7 and 17. I haven't seen any younger in my personal work. The youngest I've seen is 7, which is super unfortunate. But since we last talked, oh my God, there's been so many more suicides. And actually, another follow-up we have is that we were invited to the country of Georgia, because in the last month, they've had 10 young girls ages 14 to 17 who have taken their lives due to cyberbullying. So this is not a national problem. It's not a statewide problem. This is a global issue. And I like to call it a pandemic, because a lot of people really don't know how much it is, and that, could be considered an exaggeration of it. But to me, if one child in this age group takes their lives, then that's enough for me, right? So that I consider that as a mom, a terrible pandemic, epidemic, whatever you want to call it. But so these are things that we have coming in the future, but this is what the app does. It reports, it records, it tracks your child for up to 10 minutes. It alerts you, it educates you. You can go inside the app, and if you need to find a therapist, you can just put in your zip code and all of the different therapists pop up. Suicide prevention is in there as well. Education, it's just an amazing, it does so many different things. It doesn't just, record and alert. I'm big on education.
Once again, you listen to Refocus Radio, talking to our guest today, Tara Townes, and you go to her website. It's thebullyingbuddy.com. And also with this app, it, like you touched on, it alerts everybody, from the principal, the bus driver, even the one that's seen it happen. They can use the app as well. When it's going live, if you will. It's also, I remember last time you taught, you said that it's also archived. So people have the ability to basically have another additional witness that date and time is stamped, and that's additional evidence to show what actually happened to the student.
Yes, it is. It definitely is a data collector, and it is collecting credible data that can even be used in law cases, because it is definitely, it's credible. You can't lie on this app, and you can't, do anything to distort it or do anything like that. In fact, we have a screen lock on it. So if, another child tried to grab it from another child, you already have it though. Like, that's the whole thing about this app, that video is sent to you like this. Admin has it. So once again, you can't do anything to it. And that's intentional. But yes, you have it for your records. We obviously don't see it on it. The schools have it on their server. All we do is collect the data so that we can give it to the CDC and the proper organizations that house data, so that we can have correct numbers, because it's not. The last study was done in Europe, and that was like in 2010. And then 2019, they're saying that there's an increase, but there's never really that number. Well, there's just in the state of New Jersey alone, suicides from 2016 to 2018 have increased by 40%. And there just were 3 more and 1 more last year. And just think too, these are just the reported cases. There's a lot of people who don't want to report this, right? Parents, not judging them at all, can't even imagine being in their shoes, and nor would I want to be. I work with them personally, so I have an immense amount of empathy for them. But some parents just don't want their business out there, rightfully so. Some, people just don't want to report the deaths because they're so young and it's so shocking. But if we're going to get an addendum to certain policies that already exist and create the first federal policy, and that is, my personal goal, then we're going to need to show the government that this is more than just a few thousand cases. And even it was just a few hundred cases, there still should be policies and procedures put in place that protect our children. They do not go to school to be harassed and not want to go to school. They go to school to be safe and to be learning something, right? Instead of being bullied about anything that they get bullied about.
We're talking to Tara Lynn Townes, CEO of the Bullying Buddy LLC, and also about her app. And when people are hearing this, there's different ways for people to support what you're doing. What's the best way that they can spread the awareness about your app, so that way more people can get educated and get brought up to date what they can be arming themselves, their families, and their students?
Well, I would say this. The first thing I always say is download the app. Download it and share with other people. The app is interrelative. So if you're a parent, you obviously have to download it for yourself and your child. Once again, we're working nationwide to get it in all of the schools, so that at least all of the students that attend schools, they already have the app. The parent would just have to download it at home. I've even reduced the fee for the app just because it's more of a mission than a business to me. It is a business, but it's more of a mission to me than anything else. And so we reduced it to 99 cents. It's $1 to keep your child safe. No subscription. You cannot beat that. So that's the first thing I would say. Secondly is we have a nonprofit organization. Once again, we work with families who have lost children between the ages of 7 and 17. And we've even had an 18-year-old, a few 18-year-olds. And we help them with a lot of different things, relocation expenses, unfortunately, burial assistance, things like that. So you guys can go to tinybemighty.org, tinybemighty.org. And that is our nonprofit organization. And you can make a donation. And there's other ways, not just monetary. We have, I think there's about 6, we updated like 6 different ways that you can help us as a nonprofit organization. You can share the website. You can share the page. If you don't have a donation, you can share the donation page to people. It doesn't even matter the amount. There's volunteers. There's just sharing in general. We're doing an anti-bullying campaign right now where former NFL and WNBA players, and we're working on current as well in Washington. They're all doing PSAs. They're wearing our T-shirts. We've had about 5 players so far, and we're so excited. They wore our Bullying Buddy T-shirts, and they shared it on their social media to PSA. So we just have a lot of ways to get this word out, get involved. And I don't know if I spoke about it on the last time when I was here, but I did write a curriculum as well. And the curriculum is called Be Brave. And this will also couple the app in the schools, because the app is going to save a life in 0 time, as I like to say quickly. It stops the bleeding, but what heals the wound is really changing that behavior. And so you change negative behavior, by replacing it with positive behavior. So this is what the curriculum does. It couples the app, it supports it. And then now we're approaching it from the, cognitive level, the physical level, and then just overall mental wellness. This is why we're losing these babies, just because of the mental state that our youth are in, or heck, our adults in general are in. It's disheartening. It really is. I mean, we're losing people left and right, adult, children. It's just insane. And so obviously we have a lot of work to do, but we're here to do it. That's how anyone can give us the help that we need.
Individuals out there who are listening to this and they have a big platform, what's the best way for individuals who can help get the word out if they are interested in connecting with you and maybe have a meeting with your team? Best way to move forward?
So we have thebullyingbuddy.com, and that's THE bullyingbuddy.com. On our website, you can, I don't know why I can't talk this evening because my mind is going all over the place. Please forgive me, guys, but you can go to the website and you can request a presentation, or you can reach me there. My team will definitely get back. We have a main email. Also, too, we're on social media platforms. We're on Instagram, Twitter, we're on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, plus the companies on Facebook with their own accounts. So I'm very reachable. I'm in the trenches. And if you do have or know someone who has lost a child between the ages of 7 and we'll say 18, students due to bullying, suicide, please feel free to reach out to me, Tara Lynn Townes, online, and even the bullyingbuddy.com, because this is the mission work that we do. You also can go to tinybemighty.org and you can leave a message there for us. We have 2 separate phone numbers, and we're very, very approachable and very reachable, and we can assist with many different things.
You listen to Refocus Radio, talking to our guest, Tara Lynn Townes, CEO of the Bullying Bully LLC. And when we talk about lawmakers, has there been any more progress with you in connection to them, and maybe they have some kind of terms of what needs to happen next in order for additional moves to be made?
Yes, actually, we had a meeting with the governor of New Jersey, Governor Murphy, last week. We had a meeting with his team, and it was regarding the app, the curriculum, and the state that New Jersey is in right now, and all of the things. I will have to say that I'm very proud of my state, and I'm not just saying that because I was born and raised here, but I'm very proud of my state because they are they're like right on it. They have a new, can't really speak about all of the details, but they definitely have a new program being put in place. And this is what we spoke about, coupling what we have to offer and what they have, what they're trying to put in place as we speak. And so that has taken place. Also, too, I'm going to give a shout out to Mayor Davis of Bayonne. Thank you so much. He supports us tremendously. The Board of Ed here in Bayonne. Once again, I'll be a consultant for the Bayonne School District. So I'm very, very excited about that. We're starting to get a lot of political support. Even with the meeting that we had last week, his staff, Mayor Murphy's staff, is also going to set up a meeting with us with the DOE. So that's, definitely nationwide decision makers in the educational system, and then also too with Child Protective Services. So we have a lot seriously about to take place.
And with this app is more advanced than the majority of the apps that are out there on the market. How do you keep your platform cutting edge and more advanced technically and just with the amount of information available?
Every time I'm contacted by a parent who has lost a child, it makes my brain dig deeper to be more clever with the app. We have some new things. Obviously, we're in our last stages of patent status, so can't really speak on them, but they're very, very cutting edge. We have updated the app to do extra things with kids just to, encourage them to use it. Maybe the middle schoolers, not, obviously not the high schoolers, but it's just really, really, really good. And I have an amazing technical team, in answer to your question, very, very creative. And we work together collectively to keep this app very, very updated and cutting edge. We have to meet the kiddos where they are. My son is way more technically advanced than I am. And so I talk to him, I talk to kids when I do workshops and trainings nationwide. I always gather information on their opinions, what they like, what makes them use something, what makes them download, just to pick their brains. That's who we're addressing here. So those are just some of the things that I do to keep it this way. We also were featured in 5 major magazines. This took place a month ago. So we were in Yahoo Business, we were in AP, we were in Bloomberg. Like, we're just really starting to get that going as well.
And for parents listening to this, what words of encouragement would you give to them, and how they should have a discussion with their children about bullying, and maybe have a plan? Like, it's one thing to have the app, but maybe the parent and the child should have a game plan moving forward using it.
Yes. So in answer to that question, I will always stand on this platform because I work with children, youth, and definitely teenagers. Try to be like them. What I mean by this is try to meet them where they are. Do not panic. I have gone through this myself with my son being bullied and just having those thoughts. And thank God he didn't go any further than that, because I worked as hard as I could and prayed. I give God the glory to this one, because it's scary. It is very, very scary when your child communicates that to you, and even scarier when they don't communicate that to you. So I would just say, pay attention to their patterns. Please don't write off, in this day and age, do not write off, they're extracting from the family activities just because they're being teenagers, or they're always tired and they go in their room just because they're teenagers, or they're, mood swings just because they're going through a hormonal change. Please don't believe those things. Check in with your children. Check in before they check out. I just had a talk with my son last night. It never goes away when you have a target. I will say this, I can't say never, so let me not be that dramatic, but what I'm saying is the violator will continue to violate until you remove the target, right? If the bully doesn't have a target, then he can't bully. So my son became a target because he had dwarfism. Now, what I'm saying is we can't change him having dwarfism. That's how God made him. However, I can change his mindset. So last night, I just was quiet. A lot of times as parents, we just want to talk, and that shuts them down. You don't want them to clam up. You cannot panic either. If they say, I had thoughts, and I'm telling you, these are from my shoes, not from research in my book, and this is from my personal situation. You can't panic, because you will lose, your mind in hindsight, you will, not technically, or maybe you can, trying to save your child's mind, right? And we don't do that. What we do is we bring them to terms with what's going on. We help them accept it, but not say that I'm going to do this. So when my son says to me, well, I'm never going to be big, so they're always going to, and I said, but you're already big, because he is. I said, so I always try to focus on the things that other things that make him big. He's talented. He raps. He actually is in talks for a deal. So he's very talented. And I said, well, God put you in a small body, but he gave you big lyrics. You know what I mean? Like, you're 15 and you really do have bars, according to him, is what you have to say. I can't say cool lyrics. I have to say bars. But anyway, meet them where they are. I'm so serious. They will open up more and more. And as you're doing it, try to stay away from cliche-ish terms like you got to love you before you love yourself. I'm serious. These kids are smart today. And if we sound too engineered, they're not going to trust us and they're not going to open up to us. So I just shoot the breeze with him, like as if, he's talking to one of his friends. I try to seriously, I listen out for their lingo. Everything is bro now. I said, do not call me bro. I'm not playing with you. And he laughed, just to open them up. Please stay connected to them, though.
You listen to Army Focus Radio, and we're talking to our guest, Tara Lynn Townes, CEO of the Bullying Buddy LLC. You can go visit her website, thebullyingbuddy.com. And man, before we let you go, time already passed, but before we let you go, no, you're good. When you look at the state of, I guess you can say, social media and how heavily people are attached to being on social media, are there any, before we wrap this up, are there any encouragement that you will give people who are on social media and how they treat others and maybe help someone they notice that someone's being treated badly?
Yes. I want to just very quickly with social media, I would just love to get this message out. We do have a lot of people, because people are busy or just lonely or whatever it may be, and they begin to believe that those likes are the form of a person or a real relationship. And it is a real deep issue, because this is another reason why we are losing children. They try to measure up to everything that they see on there, right? The perfect hair, the perfect clothing, the perfect shoes, car, house, what have you. And then what happens is that they don't know that a lot of these people don't even live in these homes or wear these clothes, that they're models or spokespersons or people for a certain brand ambassadors. And that's what we need to train our children on. Please don't believe what you see on there, right? Because that person may not even be their home. That may even not be their skin. There's certain filters and different things. And it's putting a pressure on our kids to perform, a pressure to be perfect, a pressure to be thin. And then they, don't meet that pressure. And then they become, subdued in their own moods. And then it turns into a depression. And then they become a target and allow other people to violate them. So I would just say, parents, build up your children, once again, in a way that is genuine, not generic, not engineered. Don't panic. Just get in the trenches with them. The second thing I want to say is something that you just brought up that is so important, because it's something that's a part of my training. If you are popular, students, I'm speaking to you, kiddos. If you are popular or you're not being bullied and you know that someone is, you can do something on your social media. You can actually post the person and say something nice about the person, especially if you know they're being ridiculed on social media and shredded to the point where they don't either want to be here or they don't want to come to school anymore. And so you can put their picture up. You can even sit next to them at lunch and do something that you would never do before. You can do it. And this will, show or tell the bully, wow, that person sat next to him. Oh, he's cool. I don't like these social labels, but it is what it is. And this is, once again, why we're in the middle of this situation. Put your label on someone else. Why don't you put your label on someone who's socially, excommunicated because they're not cool enough? Why don't you go sit next to them, post something nice about them, or encourage other people to stop posting things that aren't nice, because there are bystanders that can really turn into upstanders.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I think we should definitely echo that, make a movement, be cool to people and make that a very difficult thing for other people, who think it's a great idea to be mean to others. I think when people stand up for others, it's very simple. It doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't take time. All it takes is a good heart. So I think that's a great thing to take away from this. Once again, man, we've been talking to our special guest, Tara Lynn Townes, CEO of the Bullying Buddy LLC. You can go to their website. It's thebullyingbuddy.com. Learn more information. We also have them on our support page on Army Focus Radio. You can check them out. And once again, you said earlier in the show that you have a book coming out. Can you give our audience a reminder, the date it releases and the name?
Yes, it's Are You Raising a Bully? And it is being released March 15th. So next week, a little over a week, or less than a week, excuse me.
Congratulations. So we'll make sure we get this out so that way people can have time to listen, to prepare to get that book. Once again, I want to say thank you to our guest, Tara Lynn Townes. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Have a great evening.